Hello, Facebook Live. Good morning, 11 a.m. here in my office. I am loving my newly renovated or cleaned up office space here. Jamie's laughing on the other side over there.
I've been asking you to come back here
Since March.
Since March.
Since March, Jamie's been asking me to come back into the office. When March hit last year, I kind of like abandoned my office space here and started working at the bar at the restaurant because it was just a lot of work. And in the restaurant, we were doing so many things with community meals and with our daily $9.99 specials, and we weren't open yet, and takeouts. And we were working our butts off for the first few months. So I didn't have time to come sit in my office because I'd be at the bar doing work, going to the kitchen to check something, and going back and forth. So I just got in that habit of staying at the bar to do my work. And then all of a sudden my desk became like this storage table. And then the desk next to me here, which I have another computer on, became like this storage table. And then I stopped doing my podcast for business, In the Weeds. I stopped doing that podcast. Jamie and I stopped doing the Chef on a Mission radio show, which is done right here. I have all the microphones here and everything for that and everything. So everything's here to get all that done. And we just stopped doing all that. We were in a different type of business type of work mode. So Jamie's been asking me, come back into the office. So finally I came in, cleaned up my desk, got everything here, updated that computer, the operating system, got the other computer updated, operating. So that's how long it's been since I've been sitting at this desk. And got my lighting fixed here because Jamie took my round light for the bar for her to do Facebook Lives. So I had to get a new they call them like selfie lights or something, but you can see here, I have this on like a remote here. You can see there it's off, there it's on, and it's got different modes and everything. So orange, so there you go. So she took that to the bar. So if you go to the bar, that's what's at the bar for her to do her happy hour lives every day. But I'm back at my desk here. A little dilemma this morning. Little dilemma the last couple days here. One of our favorite wineries in Italy, Falesco, the Coltarella family. Falesco, we've had it on our menu. We have not missed pouring this wine by the glass since 2009. It's been 12 years you've been able to come here and get Guiliano by the glass. Cabernet, Sangiovese, and Merlot blend. They also make some other really great wines. They're one of our favorite stops in Italy. They are in Lazio on the boundary of Umbria and Lazio, just about an hour and a half north of Rome. Jamie and I have been there a couple times. We've taken guests there. And amazing winery, family owned. Riccardo Cottarella is just one of those hotshot winemakers from Italy that has just, he consults a lot of other wineries, helps other wineries, and produces a lot of other award-winning wines under his direction from these other wineries that he consults at, and that's what he's known for now. And a few years ago, he handed off the vineyard, the operation to the daughters. And so two of the three daughters, they all operate, they all own the property now. And, well, their distributor here in the U.S. Had changed hands, got a little larger, corporatized a little more. Leonardo Locascio sold his company a couple years ago, and the company merged with another company and then grew, and then now it's this national company that's not so independently owned anymore. And it's still a smaller distributor, comparatively speaking, to the other two big guys. And they decided last month that they're no longer going to bring in Falesco wines, that the Falesco wine doesn't fit their portfolio and their vision to move forward. So we were shocked. So I immediately messaged Paolo, who's one of the daughters' husband, so one of the owners of Falesco. I said, Paolo, what's going on here? He's like, Marcus, we don't know yet. I'll keep you informed. Keep you informed of what's going on. And, for the meantime, Winebow still has inventory. They still have it for another month or so. Stock up on what you need, and hopefully within 30 to 60 days, we'll be able to continuing getting the wine to you. So Paolo and I had some messages this morning from Falesco, and it turns out that the wine went to Trinchero Imports out of California, out of Napa, and then from there, Trinchero supplies a company called Southern Glazer. Is that what they're called anymore, Southern Glazer? They keep changing names over the years. It used to be Southern Wine and Spirits, SWS, and then became Southern Glazer because they took over this Glazer company. They're literally the largest distributor in the country, like the Walmart. They're the largest distributor in the country. They're in like 35, 40 states, something ridiculous like that. And I don't like these big companies because they don't play fair at all. I did something the other day about one of the other big companies, how they just dictate the prices, they beat up the producers, they charge more to the restaurants, they charge outrageous delivery fees. The salespeople are so stretched so thin, and a lot of them are order takers. And Paolo goes, yeah, so we're now with Southern. And I said, Paolo, I messaged him back on WhatsApp. I said, that's unfortunate that you're with Southern. He goes, why, you don't buy from them? I said, I don't really buy from them. I don't buy from Southern. And I said, I make an exception for Fantanel. I said, Marco went through the same thing a couple years ago, 2 years ago. So I buy Fantanel Prosecco from them. And I'm willing to make the exception for you guys because of our relationship. But just to let you know, Southern's not the best place for your wine. Southern is a massive company, 20,000 wines. How many ever wines are in the portfolio? It's something insane, right? The book is like that thick. And I said, not the best place for your wines to be. You're going to get lost in that portfolio. The salespeople aren't going to know what you have. I don't like giving them my money. It's just one of those things that I just don't think that they just go in, they do the wrong things with their profits. They beat up the small people and they just raise their prices and make it almost impossible for you to get out of their contracts. So he goes, wow, Marcus, I didn't realize, I didn't realize all this. We were just trying to get an importer. The importer actually uses them. So they're not really part of that equation, right? So they just sell to the importer. The importer brings it in. The importer finds the distributor. And so probably what's going to happen is the price will definitely go up moving into Southern. Most likely the price will go up. They're going to be in a other layer system now because Leonardo Locasio used to import and sell the wines. So they'll go to an importer first. The importer will not mark his price up. And then Southern will have this equation. When we used to buy from Southern and Empire on a regular basis years ago, every single month, Jamie, the bottle go up like 0.3%. It was always a price adjustment in the direction up. So it might take a long time for a $20 bottle, wholesale bottle, to go to $30. But over the course of 5 years, that's what would happen. The prices would get raised because they're barely raising it. 1 month it's $20.86. The next month it's $20.92. 3 months down the road it's $20.98. So they play these games in these small little incremental amounts. And before you know it, over the course of a year, 2 years, 3 years, the bottle's costing you $2, $3, $4 more, $5 more. And sometimes $10 more. And what they do is they never take a price increase from the supplier, from who they're buying it from. In fact, they go to the suppliers and they try to beat them up and get a lower price, increase their margins, and then hopefully where somebody like me doesn't notice it, but we have a computer program that catches every single time an item goes up. It flags it and tells us a percentage as it comes in, basically in the door. This program has been gold for us for years. It's an expensive program, but it's been gold for us for years, and it helps us keep our costs in line so we can see this and monitor this. And so now we're in a dilemma where we're probably going to be paying more for the wine. We're buying from a company we're not really fond of, but I like the winery. We have a relationship with the winery. And Paolo's message to me was, his exact message to me was, this will be devastating losing you as a customer. This will be devastating. This is the owner of Falesco saying, it'll be devastating to lose you as a customer. And it would be, because we love them. We love what they do, and they take great care of us. They take great care of our guests when we go there. And they took great care of us for Courtney's 16th birthday. Courtney's 16th birthday, we took the kids, Courtney and Justin, to Italy, and it was our first stop. We got off the plane in Rome and just drove up got there for lunch. And it was one of the family members' birthday. It was a Sunday afternoon, and there was 25 of us sitting around a table. 2-3 generations of Culturellas were there. Not many of them spoke English. Few of them did. All of the kids, Courtney and Justin, right after lunch, went to play soccer with their kids the same age. and then the grandparents came out and started playing soccer. It was really an awesome thing. Everybody was having a ton of fun out there. So they've always taken care of us, and they put us up in their guest house when we go by ourselves. In fact, they put us up in their guest house that time as well. One of the first times we ever went there, we were just, stopped there for an appointment, and they looked at us and they go, "Do you need a place to stay tonight?" And we already had a place to stay. And we know where we're going to Orvieto, we have a place. And they go, "Well, our guest house is here. Our guest house is welcome to you. You can easily stay here. Of course, at no charge, because the guest house is, it's for that kind of stuff." And we said, "No, maybe we'll take you up next time on the guest house. This time, we're all situated." And we went out to eat that night, and the bill didn't come out. They recommended this really cool pizza place that does meter pizza. So the pizza's rectangle, and you order it by the meter. This restaurant did not speak English at all, zero English. So we're trying to translate, and I'm pointing out what I want on the menu, and of course, when it came time to get the check, there was no check, and I'm like, I can't understand. Like, are we miscommunicating? It turned out that Paolo had called and taken care of our whole meal, and this and that, and so we've always had a fantastic relationship with Falesco, with Cottarella, and it would just be devastating to lose that at this point. So it's one of those dilemmas where, same thing happened with Marco Fantanel and Fantanel Prosecco a couple years ago. They went from a small distributor and got into an importer, and then went into Southern, and now they're in the Southern book. And it's unfortunate when these big companies keep gaining all of this control and don't really care about these small producers, and they just get lost in their book, and just the way they do business in general, I'm really fond of. So, we will keep continuing to buy Falesco. We'll keep continuing to buy Fantanel, and in hopes of someday that they'll get into another smaller independent distributor that will do the right thing with them. A lot of companies think that a lot of these wine, I get asked a lot of time from vineyards that are looking for distributors, and from spirit companies, distilleries that are looking for distributors. They always think going with the two big guys is the best bet. And I say to them, you're going to get massive area distribution. Like, these companies cover the whole state, but every company covers the whole state. They have salespeople in every part of the state. Because when you're selling Jack Daniel's, Absolute, Grey Goose, Cuervo, those products demand order takers in all the corners of the state. They demand delivery, sometimes two times a week, in all those corners of the state, right? Because of a bar up in Plattsburgh, or a bar in Buffalo, or a bar in Rochester needs Cuervo, Grey Goose, Absolute. Those big companies want to make sure they're going with an infrastructure so big that those places can get a delivery one to two times a week, like that. So these smaller guys think, well, gee, if I can get into this big company, my product's going to go that much further out. The problem is, these companies don't have great salespeople to know the 200-page book that well. When you're in a book that's 25 pages, 50 pages, 30 pages, 15 pages, the salesperson knows what's in the portfolio. The salesperson knows the back of their head how each wine is, and can make recommendations. But when a salesperson walks in and hands you, do you have one of their books, Jamie? Southern or Empire's books, any of their old books? Literally, hopefully we have one. I'll show you what one of these books look like. And the salesperson has no idea. I need a Cabernet for like $9, wholesale. They have no idea what's in the book. When you go to someone in a smaller distributor, oh my gosh, I have this great Cabernet from El Dorado. I have a great Cabernet from Italy. I have a great Cabernet from whatever, this, and this. They know, and they can write off, and they can sell the product. So here is a Southern Glazer. This is January 2020. That is how thick that book is, folks. That is how thick this is. This is filled with so much stuff here that the salesperson has no idea. So then they have specialized salespeople that are division managers or division people for this line and that line. You never see those people. They never come into the restaurant. You never see them. I don't know what they're doing or where they're going. But their main concern is going to the biggest accounts ever possible, so they can go in and just sell massive amounts of 56 case deals, which is a pallet, or people that are just going to pour the ton out of wine. We're not that big of a restaurant, so I never see those people. Those people don't do anything for me, but they can't sell a wine at small production because it just wouldn't work. I mean, literally, this book is, let's see if these pages are numbered. 200, 201. And I said 200 pages, yeah. 203, 207. 207 pages is this book. 207 pages. The salesperson has no idea really what's in here besides what they have quotas to sell. These companies put out quotas, and the salespeople, you talk to a lot of salespeople, and they're miserable because they walk into a meeting and it's like, okay, guys, we have to sell Barefoot Chardonnay this month. That's the push. We used to get along with our Lauber sales rep really good. Lauber's a division of Southern. They bought Lauber. And, you know, the salespeople over the years would call us and ask for favors. It's the end of the month. Marcus, I've got to sell this wine. If I don't sell this wine, I'm in a lot of trouble. And they would call because they're calling the last 2-3 days of the month for accounts to do favors for them, to buy a wine that I may never want, never need, overpriced, whatever, because they have to meet their quotas. So they're struggling to meet quotas all month that they can't sell something like Filasco Viziano. It's just their focus isn't on it. Their focus is Barefoot. Their focus is whatever the big brand is. Maybe something from Antinori, something from one of these huge brands, and that's maybe it's the new flavored rum from whatever rum producer. That's their goal, and they're actually specifically told, here's a new product. You need to get 25 new placements of this product this month to keep moving forward. 25 new placements, which means new product. They've got to go to a place and get a new placement in there, get it into a place, into a store, and into a thing. And this is what they spend their time doing, is meeting quotas for the greedy corporation. They don't spend time understanding what's in the book and the wines, and it drives me crazy when I see these small companies switch them. I'm like, oh my gosh, like I really have to have a strong connection to the winery to actually call this company to place an order. I've got to really know the winery really well to say, okay, I'm calling this company to order the wine. It's a truly independent. I know them, this and that. And really the only two wines we buy from here are what, Jamie? Fantanelle, and it will be Filasco. The only two, which I can message both the owners right now, and they would answer me, like I was messaging Paolo this morning. I could message Marco Fantanelle the same thing, and he would message me and have a conversation with me. But it's a shame that this happens with companies. And the more that we support these companies, the bigger they grow. The more that we support Absolute and Cuervo and Grey Goose and Bombay and Johnny Walker and Patron, the more that we support these brands, the more that we support this massive conglomeration to move forward and keep buying other companies and dictating what's going to happen. There's a law right now that they're sponsoring in New York State, to make it virtually impossible, if you're one of the companies in this book, to actually find a new distributor. It's called Source Something, and one of the local distilleries up in the Finger Lakes told me about this. And this is right now in the legislation in New York State, and they're sponsoring it. They're behind it. They're paying lots of money. They're lobbyists. So when you get in this book as one of their suppliers, you're not getting out. They're not going to let you out. It's impossible. One of the companies just got out of their contract. A New York distillery just got out of their contract with Empire Merchants. Empire Merchants is an independently owned company, but it was owned by several different families, and they merged together when they came into the state, because they came into the state and wreaked havoc on the industry. And you went from 5 or 6 mid-sized distributors to 2, because for the other 5 to compete with this company, all the others had to merge and put everything together to even have a half a chance. So you had companies like Eber Brothers went out of business. You had these companies that just totally charmer that either went out of business or merged to make Empire Merchants to even have a standing shot with these guys. And when they came to the state, so Empire, same thing set up, very hard to get in out of their book. This one distillery goes in, they're in the book, they want out. Okay, you want out? Pay us $500,000 to get out of your contract. What do you mean $500,000? I can't afford to pay that. Well, you're bound to your contract. They're negotiating and this and that. They were able to lower it, but they still had to pay to get out of it. And then part of the buyout for them to get out of the contract is they can never, ever, ever, ever have another distributor in the state of New York. So basically, they're done. They now have to. They wanted out of this business deal so bad that they were willing to sell their product themselves instead of going to a distribution house and having another company do it for them. That's how bad they wanted to get out of this contract with this big company. Because they once you're in, they own you, and it's disgusting. It's pathetic. And the more we buy Patron, the more we buy these big brands, the more we allow these companies to take control and hijack small companies, small businesses. And it's pathetic, really pathetic. So that's my sort of rant on this and the dilemma that we're in. And hopefully Valesco won't be bound to this and realize that at some point they can break free of here and get into a mid-sized distributor. And Valesco's not that big of a winery. You know, they make 1 million bottles of wine. These guys like wineries that are making 5 million, 7 million, 10 million bottles of wine, 8 million bottles of wine, because they want to sell in all 40 states. And they want to have such massive volume that, you know, that they can sell in all 40 states and make volume over that. This is why they like Patron. That's why they like Grey Goose, because these are large-scaled companies, massively large-scaled companies. And when you have the blueprint, the footprint for these, you know, sky's the limit. You can keep scaling the company. So that's it. That's the story with that. Hopefully we won't run out of Viziano until our next delivery. I hope not. Hopefully I'll be able to... Do we even have a salesperson right now for Southern? No.
She calls every once in a while.
She calls every once in a while. Yeah.
She works in the office. She doesn't go out.
So she's an in-house. So this company, we used to have a salesperson who used to walk in the door and say hi to us. Now Southern cut that position out, and the person sits at a desk all day with a phone and calls. They don't have people going around like they used to. They still probably do in some areas, but they don't for us. They don't have somebody coming to us. She's sitting there calling, and it's not really, you know, it's they're saving. They're saving all this money because they don't have somebody going around and showing samples and doing the kind of job that other distributors do. That's it, folks. It's Tuesday. We are closed today. We are closed. And back open Thursday. Today's Tuesday. Closed Tuesday, Wednesday. Back open Thursday. Emails going out today with an itinerary for our next trip to the Finger Lakes, to Cuca Lake. A few spots are left for that. Trip will be sold out. That itinerary is going out today, so check it out. You'll be going to a lot of our favorite wineries up there. Some wineries that we've known for 15 years. Some wineries that we've literally known for 15 days that are just have totally impressed us beyond belief. They're making their mark up there, like a company like Domaine Le Sieur, which is just totally doing an amazing job. Young French couple from Burgundy, worked in Burgundy, from Champagne, France, and says, hey, Finger Lakes is the new horizon. Here we go. TripAdvisor named the Finger Lakes last year. So last year, the year before, Jamie, last year, I think. #1 wine region in the country. This is the Finger Lakes, TripAdvisor. #1 wine region in the country. Finger Lakes, right here in New York, 3 hours north of us, right here. It is like Napa. It is it's not as warm as Napa, but it is winery after winery after winery after winery after winery on these beautiful lakes. Lots of good food, good hotels, but there's some bad food, there's some bad hotels, there's some bad wineries. You need to know where to go. And I mean, you can find good wineries, they're out there. But Jamie and I have done all that work for you and choreographed this amazing trip with some awesome wineries. Wineries that we're very proud of to be representing here at the restaurant, and proud to know the owners of these vineyards. So, and there's some wineries up there that we've been to a couple times that we just, like I've said before, we just won't serve. We don't feel their wine is the quality that we're looking for here at the restaurant. So, that being said, March 19th to the 21st, Finger Lakes, $800 a person, staying in Watkins Glen, and we're doing Cuca Lake this time, which is 20 minutes away. The wineries of Cuca Lake, and we're going to probably throw in one Seneca Lake there, like Herman Weimer, because that was not on our last trip, and Herman Weimer is just super impressive, so we'll probably add that in, even though it's on Seneca. I'm sure our guests won't mind that. And that's it for now, folks. Have an amazing day. Appreciate all the business. Appreciate the support, the views, the likes, the comments. We really appreciate all of that. And we'll talk soon. Did I forget anything, Jamie? No.
No.
No. All right. Awesome. Talk to everybody later.